This is the 2025 Mercedes G-Wagon. The legendary 4x4, famous for its ruggedness, off-road prowess, and timeless design, has returned, and in a number of flavors, including diesel, petrol, and perhaps most curious.
Check it out.
Of all, as a G580 with EQ technology. Or, to put it another way, it's the fully electric G-Wagon. Say what? I shouldn't be that surprised. Mercedes have been teasing this car for years now. They've shown us a concept car. They told us to expect it. And yet, for some reason in my mind, I just didn't really think it was going to be real. It just sounds a bit sort of ludicrous, doesn't it? And yet here I am behind the wheel of an actual G580. And it is very, very real. The G580 doesn't use a fancy new chassis. It's got the same old school ladder frame underpinnings that have served as the backbone of the G-Wagon since GOD was a toddler. This is a G that's been injected with electric parts rather than an electric car that's been dressed up to look like a G. Or at least that's what Mercedes want us to believe. You see, they're so keen for people to think of this as a proper G-Wagon that they've infused it with a whole bunch of extra G goodies that make it difficult to disassociate from the proper diesel and petrol G-Wagons. They include the oddly appealing G-Raw. Listen to this. The slightly mad G-Steer, which lets you turn tight corners, and the hilariously visual G-Turn, which lets you spin around on the spot. We'll judge each of these on their own merit a bit later to see if they're G-Enius or just G-Imix, but for the moment, let me give you the basic G-ist. Instead of an internal combustion engine, the G580 with EQ technology, to give it its full name, uses 4 separate electric motors, each one having its own separate transmission and each one driving an individual wheel. Each motor makes 146 horsepower. When all 4 are on song, they make a total of 587 horsepower, while torque is rated at a whopping 1,164 Newton meters. What does that feel like? Well, it's slightly difficult to explain exactly what I mean, so I think I better just show you. So for this, I'm going to pull over, and I'm actually going to activate the G-Raw sound experience. There we go. Will it rev? I'll put it into neutral. No revving. There's also no launch control, so I'm just going to hold the brake and then boost it and then send it. Oh, there we go. Ooh! Ooh! Okay, so first of all, the noise is there. You can hear that. And also, the front end picks up and shoves its way forward. Almost like it's doing a wheelie, just as you expect a proper G-Wagon to do. That's fun. It'll do 0 to 62 in 4.7 seconds. That's not quite as quick as the V8 powered G63, but it's certainly quick enough. What's more, with more torque than the G63, the G580 feels more responsive in gear. You never have to wait for the car to downshift or build turbo boost pressure before it unleashes its full fury. Range is a claimed 285 miles, although in my hands it was probably closer to a little over 200. Charging is done at an okay 200 kilowatts, fast enough to give you 106 miles in 15 minutes of charging, but some will have preferred a faster charge speed with a battery clocking in at such a mighty 116 kilowatt hours. Regardless, the G580 is instantly recognizable as a G-Wagon, with the same boxy proportions as the petrol and diesel variants. But look closely and there are clues that